Close your eyes for a moment and imagine. Everything you desire, everything you long for, already exists. It is not far away. It is not waiting to be given. It is here now in the unseen. The secret is not in struggle nor in force, but in the recognition of your true power. You do not need to beg. You do not need to chase. You need only to assume and embody. There are three words that, when spoken with faith, ignite the invisible into form. Three words that dissolve resistance and call forth what belongs to you. These words are not empty phrases, they are declarations of being. They are the key to stepping from longing into having, from waiting into receiving. When you speak them, not as hope but as fact, you move into the dimension where your desire already breathes. When you say, "It is done," you are no longer pleading, you are no longer looking for signs, you are resting in fulfillment. You are standing on the finished shore of your creation. To declare, "It is done," is to anchor yourself in the reality that your prayer has already been answered. It is to step out of time, out of delay, into the eternal now, where all things exist. The moment you speak these words with conviction, the unseen aligns. Circumstances shift. People, places, and opportunities move into place. The outer world bends itself to the inner command. You are no longer trying to make it happen. You are living from the certainty that it already has. It is done. These three words are the language of manifestation. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. The instant you assume it, it begins to harden into fact. Speak them not with doubt, but with assurance. Speak them as the author, not the beggar. Speak them until your heart beats with the rhythm of their truth. And watch how swiftly the invisible becomes visible before your eyes. It is done. Let these words sink deeply into you. Let them echo not just in your mind, but in the very core of your being. For every time you speak them with faith, you remind yourself that the universe does not work by delay, it works by completion. You are not waiting for your manifestation to arrive, you are aligning yourself with the reality where it already exists. You see, creation is finished. Everything that you could ever want, every possibility already lives in the infinite. The role you play is not to struggle to bring it forth, but to choose it, to accept it, to step into it. The moment you say, "It is done," you shift from a state of wanting to a state of having. You close the gap between yourself and your desire. And the outer world, which is only a mirror, must reflect the change within. Consider the way you breathe. You do not question if the next breath will come. You assume it. You live from it. The same way you can assume the reality of your desire. When you declare, "It is done," you breathe life into that assumption. You stop wrestling with doubts, you stop entertaining delays, and you rest in the assurance that what you seek is already yours. Think of a seed planted in the ground. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You know it is done. The roots are forming, unseen but certain. The plant will rise in its appointed time. So it is with your desire. The moment you claim it, unseen roots begin to take hold. Events align, circumstances arrange themselves, and without strain, without worry, it emerges into visibility. But the key is this: you must speak, "It is done," with feeling, not as mere words. Words without faith are empty, but when spoken from the heart, they are powerful decrees. When you embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you walk as though it were already yours, you set into motion an unstoppable current. That current carries you into the exact experiences you desire. Notice the difference between saying, "I hope it will happen," and saying, "It is done." Hope lives in the future, but "it is done" lives in the now. Hope keeps you waiting, but "it is done" makes you receive. Hope begs, but "it is done" commands. This is why many people struggle to manifest. They continue to live in hope instead of certainty. They ask, they plead, they look for signs, but they never step into the reality where it has already happened. Now imagine yourself holding your desire in your hands. Imagine the relief, the joy, the gratitude. Feel how real it is. Let your body respond as if it has already happened. Smile, breathe deeply, allow yourself to rest in it. And then speak, "It is done." In that moment, you are no longer desiring, you are possessing. You are no longer reaching, you are receiving. That shift is everything. There is no power in waiting. The power is in knowing. To say "it is done" is to know. It is to trust the invisible more than the visible. It is to lean upon the reality of the unseen until it crystallizes into the seen. And it always will, for your inner world is the blueprint of your outer world. The moment you assume, the outer must follow. Think of a painter. Before the brush touches the canvas, the image already exists in the imagination. The canvas only reveals what has already been completed within. Your life is the same. The outer events are only the painted canvas. The true creation takes place within, where you speak the words, "It is done," and live in their truth. Many people sabotage themselves because they speak, "It is done," with their lips but deny it with their actions and thoughts. They look around and say, "But I do not see it yet." They let doubt creep in. They measure by appearances. But appearances are the slowest part of creation. The outer is always catching up to the inner. If you speak the words yet remain tied to appearances, you weaken your own decree. But if you speak them and refuse to be swayed by delay, you will see the miracle unfold. This is why faith is so crucial. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith does not ask, "When will it come?" Faith declares, "It is already here." Faith knows that the invisible is more real than the visible, because the visible is only a shadow of the unseen. And so when you walk in faith, you walk as though it were already true, because it is. Take a moment right now. Bring to mind something you have long desired. Perhaps it is love. Perhaps it is abundance. Perhaps it is healing. See it vividly. Hear it, touch it, taste it in your imagination. And then speak quietly within yourself, "It is done." Feel the weight lift, for the matter is settled. There is no more question, no more wondering, no more striving. It is finished. And as you rest in that knowing, you will find the outer world bending to meet you. These 3 words are not just a phrase. They are a doorway into the life you want to live. Every time you say them, you step into that doorway. Every time you say them with conviction, you choose that reality. And life responds, because life is nothing but the echo of your assumption. Understand this: the world you see is not fixed. It is pliable, malleable, ready to shift according to your inner decree. And when you say, "It is done," you instruct it to shift. You give it the command, and it cannot resist, for the outer must obey the inner. This is law. Now, there will be moments when your senses argue. They will say, "Look, nothing has changed. It cannot be done." But you must answer back, "It is done." Do not argue with appearances. Do not plead with circumstances. Simply declare the truth again and again. Each time you do, you reinforce the new state within, and the outer has no choice but to follow. Think of someone who receives a letter in the mail saying their debt is forgiven. The letter is the proof. Even if the bank's records have not yet caught up, the reality is already settled. They walk in freedom because they know the debt is cleared. That is how you must walk with your desire. The inner decree is your letter. Even if the outer has not yet reflected it, the matter is finished. This is not wishful thinking. This is alignment. This is the law of creation at work. You are not trying to bring something from nothing. You are tuning yourself to the reality that already exists. And the moment you align, the outer world bends. The delay is only the shadow catching up to the light. Speak the words, "It is done," when you wake in the morning. Speak them when you close your eyes at night. Let them become the song of your being. When fear rises, answer with, "It is done." When doubt whispers, answer with, "It is done." Each time you do, you strengthen your faith, you deepen your assumption, and you move closer to the visible fulfillment. The greatest power you hold is not in effort, but in assumption, not in chasing, but in resting. Resting in the truth that all is already complete. You are not becoming, you already are. You are not waiting, you already have. The outer is simply catching up. Do not confuse waiting with faith. Faith does not wait, faith receives. Faith celebrates now. Faith walks as though it is already true. So let your speech, your thoughts, your actions all flow from the truth of those 3 words. When you do, life becomes effortless. You no longer strain, you no longer wonder. You simply live from the end, and the end reveals itself. Even now, as you listen, something within you stirs, a knowing, a remembrance. You recognize the power of these words because they are not foreign to you. They are the natural language of your soul. for deep within you already know it is done. Every desire you have ever held is not a future possibility. It is a present reality waiting for you to claim it. So let your mind dwell on the end, not the process. Let your heart feel the joy of having, not the tension of wanting. Speak the words as often as you need, until they are no longer just words but truth, until your being radiates certainty. And when that happens, the world will show you the reflection. It cannot do otherwise. For manifestation is not about forcing life. It is about agreeing with life. It is about aligning with the finished work and resting in it. The moment you align, the outer aligns. The moment you declare, it is done, the unseen begins to reveal itself in the seen. So walk now in that truth, live as though it were already yours. Let the words carry you. Let them transform the way you see, the way you speak, the way you move. For when you move, the world must answer you in kind, and it will. It is done. To live in this awareness is to step into a different rhythm of life, a rhythm where there is no more waiting, no more pleading, no more wandering in circles of doubt. It is to awaken to the truth that the unseen is more real than the seen. You are no longer a seeker. You are no longer someone searching for answers. You are the one who already possesses them. Every time you declare, it is done, you step out of the illusion of lack and into the reality of abundance. Think for a moment about how you have lived much of your life. Perhaps you have desired something, prayed for it, worked for it, only to feel it slipping further away. The reason is simple: you were always holding it in the future. You were saying, one day, instead of, no. You were saying, I hope, instead of, I have. And so the desire remained ahead of you, always moving further each time you reached for it. But the moment you switch to, it is done, you collapse the distance. You bring it into the present moment. You declare yourself already in possession. That shift is what unlocks the manifestation. Picture yourself standing before two doors. Behind one door is waiting, hoping, longing. Behind the other is fulfillment, assurance, completion. Every time you speak, it is done, you step through the door of fulfillment. You leave behind the endless chase and step into arrival. And when you live as though you have already arrived, the world mirrors that back to you in undeniable ways. It is done is not only about words, it is about state. You can repeat the phrase 1,000 times, but if inside you feel lack, you are still living in the wrong state. The true power comes when the words align with the feeling. When your heart beats with the certainty of completion, your mind quiets, your body rests, and your actions flow with ease. You no longer grasp or force, you allow. You no longer ask, when will it come? Because you know it already has. Imagine someone who has ordered a package. They do not stand by the door panicking, wondering if it will ever arrive. They trust it is on the way. They act as though it is theirs already. That is how you must live. When you say, "It is done," you know the order has already been placed in the unseen, and delivery is certain. To doubt would be absurd. To worry would be wasted energy. You simply live in the reality that it is already settled.